Hey everybody, welcome back to SuperDerek streams, to HitPoint. That's the one, the only JRPG news show in the world where I always consistently mess up the intro. A JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I pretty much talk about anything and everything that interests us. And guys, it has been a hot minute since we last streamed.
Yeah, it's been a while. How are you?
I'm
How you
doing
doing?
pretty good. We will be previewing some trailers, talking about rumors, and we'll be responding to super chats at the end of the episode. We also
Delicious rumors.
oh my gosh, some delicious rumors, very tasty. I don't even know what the rumors are today, actually. But you know what? Just stick around. We'll spread some of our own.
You know, this sets the tone for the rest of the year, right? This is the first show of the year.
Oh yeah. And it's you know what I'm really happy about is we're also setting the bar for the rest of the year, and I'm setting it really low. I'm already messing up the intros. No. This is going to be a fantastic show. I'm very excited to catch up with Baku. A lot of you don't know this, but during the break, Baku and I took a vow of silence. So so this is actually the very first time that we've spoken to one another. Since we, I mean, we've chatted, but not like this.
Yeah. We messaged back and forth, but yeah, this is the first time we're really like chatting.
Exactly. So
yes.
The floodgates. This is how much I'm rolling up my sleeves because I'm just overheated because I'm just so dang excited to talk to Baku about his time at MagFest this year. And we'll also be talking a little bit about some cool fan community news that's been going on. So it is just an indie and community news packed sort of day because everybody else, I mean, the only people working hard over the holidays are the indie devs. Everybody else is like slacking hard.
Snore. Yeah. No.
Myself included.
Absolutely. No, you know what? I think that's unfair to Derek. Please, Derek. I would think that you should apologize to Mr. Derek because Mr. Derek's been working super hard over the past couple of weeks. I'm certain.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, okay, I'll tell you what I've done over the last few weeks. I haven't put out any videos all month though. Since the start of the month, I've been taking it easy. But I mean, taking it easy as far as releases, but I have been working on stuff behind the scenes. We've actually, did you know, Baku, that that last year, I haven't talked to you since last year. Last year, I finished Trails of Cold Steel 1.
Wow.
And then
you actually did it.
And then and then we started, people were like, oh, there's no way that you'll be able to, not just dive into Trails of Cold Steel 2 after the end of Cold Steel 1, because it's got this cliffhanger, right? And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I think I got this. So anyways, we started embarking on the next big epic adventure, and finally, and I played through The Legend of Zelda on the NES, and we did it. We did it. We're done. And now we actually yesterday started Trails of Cold Steel 2.
Of course. You took a slight nothing breather.
Took a little sure. Just a little a little palate cleanser, like the little bit of water that you swish in your mouth before trying another gallon of wine or something, right?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Wow. I cannot believe that's how you describe the original Zelda.
I mean, hey, the original Zelda. So it's a like 12-hour game. If you like milk everything out of the first quest, there's a second quest, but screw that. I got to the second dungeon and I'm like, you know what? I don't need this in my life. I'm okay with this. Let's move on.
Oh, right.
But
yeah, hey, you got to the second Cold Steel, man. I'm excited for you.
I did. Yeah. And I've actually written reviews for 3 games as of right now for the game collection. Those are all lined up.
Where are the videos?
Soon, TM. Soon.
Look, I'm just asking the questions that people are asking.
Okay? So
like,
here's
I'm
the thing.
For the people,
and it's not like so Baku, you used to have a YouTube channel. If you still did, you would probably find out. You would probably find out around this time that ad revenue just takes a total swan dive to like the pennies on the dollar of like, I mean, and ad revenue isn't like the be all and end all, but it's really nice to have, and it may as well just make some videos to have saved up for when, you know, people are advertising things again.
Makes
So
sense.
I should actually have a video coming out here pretty soon talking a little bit about Earthbound, you know, for no particular reason, but we'll talk about that maybe a little later on. Yeah, but I do have some very cool stuff planned, but the reviews are going to take a little bit of time, but I have 3 of them lined up, so I'm very excited about that.
All right, we'll let you off the hook for now.
All right, this time.
This time.
Speaking of YouTube channels and how Baku used to have one, how's that going?
It's still dead. Oh, my follow count went past 800. That's crazy. I haven't posted in there for months. I think I stopped at like 400, and it's just grown double over the months.
At this point, people are just doing
posting nothing.
At this point, people are just subbing to keep you quiet. No.
You know, I'm almost scared that as soon as I post like a new video, they're like, "Oh, who's this guy?
This guy, I don't remember them.
Unsub, unfollow.
I don't think
Who's
so.
This?
I think people will be very excited to see you streaming again or making videos again. But what were you doing since last we spoke?
Let's see. New job, new semester at school.
New job since we last spoke?
Oh, since we last spoke. Oh no, I was counting all the things that was preventing me from making video. Since we last spoke, my computer crashed 4 times on a stream, and then
you know, I did see the corpse of what looked like a computer behind you before we started the stream. Is that?
Oh yeah, I was forced to terminate the stream that night, rewire things, more like reseated the wires. I didn't even rewire anything, right? Reseated the wires, turned it back on, streamed again, when you know, turned on a full synthetic like workload for the CPU and GPU, and no crash. I just for a good like 2 hours, my CPU and GPU running at 99% while streaming, and no crash. After crashing 5 times like consecutively, I don't know what triggered it. I still don't.
Is that the cursed computer?
Yeah, no. So I bought a new graphics card and it's coming in. I bought a UPS. I'm hooking that up. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But as soon as we're done with the show, I'm gonna start playing around with those things. We'll see. We'll see if the crash continues, and you know, to be continued. But when I'm not crashing, I finished the Ocean 6, and boy, what a journey.
I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed that. Like, was it? How would you rate it? Was it great from like start to finish, or did it fizzle out?
Hold on, am I allowed to say that I enjoyed the game? Because I'm just so scared that I'm going to get like hate mails for liking a thing.
I mean, you might get some comments about it. I got some comments. I got some comments, you know, from people who suspected I was a square shill when I enjoyed my time with it. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a fantastic game. It is definitely worth a play. It is kind of a shame that towards the end, it feels like they definitely ran short on budget. But otherwise, it is a very enjoyable game. The ending is not bad, let's just say.
Okay.
I still give it a good 7 out of 10, though. I just wish
7
they were
out of 10
well-funded.
experience.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 experience. It's a great experience, though. Yeah.
Worth it for $40 if you get it on sale?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely worth it. Yeah. The best thing is the pacing. It's just it doesn't waste your time. Let's just put it that way. And that's
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And that's going to be the theme of the games that we'll talk about later during the show. So
yeah. Yep. Indies can't afford to waste your time.
Yeah, basically, right?
Gotta love it. Well, you know what, guys? We ran a little short on time this week, so we didn't actually curate many of the comments. We did, however, have someone who was able to give us a call, so we'll just listen to that voicemail. And if you know what? Here, let's do this thing. I'm a little out of practice. There we go. So If you have a voicemail that you would like to leave us, you may do so at 785-337-3805, just like Steven here.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Steven, long-time listener, second-time caller. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys a question. I know we are JRP news show. We are a niche news show, but also we are an anime news show. And I wanted to shed some light on the anime aspect. I wanted to ask you guys, what is, and this is a genre I feel like doesn't get a lot of attention. I wanted to know what you guys' favorite slice of life anime is. As far as the characters don't have powers, they're just dealing with everyday things. Personally, my favorite is from the late 80s, early 90s. It's called Oishinbo, otherwise known as The Gourmet. It's an anime about a food journalist, works for a newspaper in Tokyo. He writes about food. He can taste all the ingredients, right? He knows everything about food, right? And it teaches you about Japanese food, culinary art, how everything is traditionally made. You know, it's very slice of life. It's very much about characters going about their days, their jobs, their lives, and how everyday experiences affect them. Curious to know what you guys' favorite slice of life anime was, and love the show. Keep doing what you guys are doing, and we are enjoying it. Peace.
Awesome.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much, Stephen. What a wonderful question.
Wow. What
So-
a wonderful voice message. I'm just like feeling all warm and fuzzy.
I know, right?
Word of encouragement.
kind of makes me feel bad for taking such a long break since you left that last year.
Totally your fault, by the way. I'm just
I
gonna
know.
pin it on you.
I'll
It's
take
not,
it.
but
I'll take the blame.
I'm gonna do it.
But so who wants to kick this off? Because I'm afraid I'm gonna drop the best answer and then
Let me give you some time to think about it because
I already
you
know
know.
the answer, but go ahead.
Oh, you already know the answer. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Favorite slice of life? Probably K-On! Honestly, it's just a bunch of girls playing guitars. Like it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there has been so many.
I've never
recent-
seen K-On! Could you like tell
K-On!
me a little bit about? Yeah, tell me more about K-On!
I don't. It's hard to describe. It's literally just a couple of girls who are band together. To be in a band, and just their little adventures. Man, it's just a harmless fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't go too deep into anything really. It's just cute girls doing cute things. I don't know what else to say about it. You just gotta watch it.
Sure. All right. Now let me tell you why your favorite is wrong.
Please.
No. I'm just kidding.
tell.
But I have several favorites. But let's just start with, I think that my absolute favorite probably has to be Angel Beats. I mean, it's probably a little milquetoast.
Whoa. Hold on. No special powers. Normal everyday people. That can't be it. Did you not hear the message correctly? What? No. He said no special power, just ordinary people doing things.
I mean, don't you do stuff like that?
Angel Beats? Dude, it's like a bunch of people in their afterlives. Like this is not slice of life.
Is that a spoiler? I think that might be a spoiler, buddy.
It's
come on. Anyways, so okay, fine. How about fine. We'll just reel it back in a little bit here. Okay. Okay. So instead, since
denied,
since Angel Beats was disqualified. Okay.
Based
fine.
on Steven's criteria, by the way, I didn't make the rule.
Sure.
You get mad at Steven.
Okay. So then, how about disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya? I mean,
no special power.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me reel that back in then. Okay. In that case,
it's an amazing show. Both of them are amazing shows, by the way. No disrespect.
Sure. Okay. But we have some others. Okay. So
okay.
How about Dragon Ball Z? Just kidding. No. Okay. But for real, Lucky Star.
Lucky Star, yeah. Lucky Star is
Lucky
definitely,
Star.
yeah.
It's a pretty solid, especially if you just enjoy some observational humor, things like that. People just kind of taking a new perspective on things. I think that's pretty fun. Oh God,
love Lucky Star. Yeah, it was great.
There's also it's your fault that I'm not popular, I think is what it's called.
Oh, that one. Yes. That one's great. It's just, the world just constantly works against that girl. I'll throw two more out just
Okay.
because I do love my slice of life. One is called The Ordinary Days of High School Boys. I think that I really like that one because as I was watching it, obviously these kids are in Japan and I grew up in the States, but there's still some like common things that I guess we just all experience as like high school boys. And they talk about exaggerated adventures, sure, but you still feel like their pain of growing up. It's like, oh God, I've been there. Circumstances a little different, but I've definitely been there. That's the kind of feelings I get. And then the other one, which is recent, the recently I've watched something called Daimon, and I would highly recommend that as well. That one is more it's more, there's more emotions involved with that one. Talks about a guy who basically ran off to Tokyo from Kyoto to play in a band after graduating from college, and then found out that his dad is sick and decided to go back to Kyoto to inherit the Japanese confectionery shop, and so on and so forth. And that's how the story begins. But they talk about each of the characters and just their backstories. It doesn't get too heavy ever, but it's definitely like a really heartwarming show. So I highly recommend that, Daimon.
Nice. There's
Yeah.
another one that I've been trying to think of the name of it for a long time, and I just remembered it. It's Clanad.
Oh my God, that one's painful.
It's rough, but there are some things that give me some very good memories.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was one of my first slice of life that has actually like left a big impact on me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it
I
is.
can't
It is
not
an
mention
amazing
Clannad.
show. It is an amazing show. But I'll stop there. I think talking any further about that show would definitely spoil it for folks who have never watched it. But if you're in for something that is extremely touching, Clannad said, yeah, it's got a bunch of humor, but don't let it fool you because you will cry. And then you'll
Prepare to
smile
cry
again.
edition.
Yeah,
Yep.
prepare to cry. One of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. What a great question though. Thank you, Steven, again for the
Thank you,
awesome
Steven.
voicemail. Very much appreciated. And again, if you guys have any questions that you just gotta ask, you can do so at 785 337 3805. Or if you're international and just really don't want to pay the fees to call us, that's fine. You can leave us a voicemail at HitPoint at SuperDerekRPGs.com. And we'll play that on the air as well.
Absolutely. And yeah, I know that we're we're a little lacking in reading through the and picking out some comments, but just know that we do read the comments. So keep them posting.
That's right.
Yes.
So
All
let's go ahead
right.
and move along to some of the upcoming games. So
By upcoming games, you mean one of them.
yeah, let's move along to upcoming game.
Upcoming game. All right.
Okay,
did you
I'll take this
wanna-
one since I'll probably not have a whole lot to say about for a little bit after that.
Go for it, sir.
All right, so yeah, the game you guys probably already know what it is since we already said that it is pretty much the only game coming out this week, which is basically One Piece Odyssey. The new One Piece tie-in game is coming out in just a few days. A reminder that this title is a turn-based RPG with a brand new original story penned by the series creator Eiichiro Oda. So
That's right.
we
yeah.
have a trailer here available that we can watch if you'd like to.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, only if you want to, Baku.
I would love it, Derek, if we watch this trailer. Yeah, so this is going to be a relatively long trailer, so if we want to cut it off at some point, we definitely can. But I wanted to find us what is it called? A trailer that talks about the system of the game instead of
it's like an in-depth showcase kind of.
Yeah. So we can take a look at some of the things.
Sure. Well, if you want to skip around, be my guest. By the way, I think one of the things that happened last week that I mentioned a couple times, I was like, oh no, we're gonna get copy striked or copy claimed. We totally did.
Dang
by
it.
like everything.
By everybody. Well, hopefully
Uh,
this wouldn't, because this is just a dude talking. And, you know, it
yeah.
should be fine.
So, well, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely just need to make sure we continue talking. Or, you know, actually, I was thinking maybe I should just not use the audio at all at this point. I mean, for certain things at least, for sure.
Yeah. So this title, again, this is a a turn-based RPG. So I think a lot of people were pretty disappointed with the previous One Piece game that came out. In fact, one of my friend, who's a huge One Piece fan, by the way, said this about the previous game, and I quote, "It was so bad, it was insulting." Yeah, yeah, I know. Now he could be a harsh critic, right? I don't know, but regardless, I think the general consensus is that the previous game was not the best, to say the least. So hopefully, and I mean really, hopefully, this will be a good game. And I'm putting money where my mouth is, right? Like I got the limited edition for this one. Like I threw the money out, but I'm a little worried that it will end up being more like Fairy Tale the RPG, and I
Kind of get
really
repetitive
wanted
over
that one to
time.
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was extremely repetitive. Like I love Fairy Tale, but man, the RPG was just I wish they had a better budget and that they did more things.
Do you know if
Um,
it's the same team as the other, or because
no,
it is Bandai, right? Bandai
no, it's
Namco.
not even the same company
Is it
that
not?
did the.
Oh,
I forgot who did Fairy Tale, but I'm pretty sure it's not Bandai. I'm pretty sure it was a different company.
okay.
Hold on. You know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But so don't quote me on it.
Hey,
I'm
one of us has
pretty
got to be
sure.
right. That's okay.
It's either it is or it isn't. Hang on. You got me. Oh, Koei Tecmo. So no, it
Oh,
is not
okay.
Bandai. Yeah. So, I mean, still a sizable company, of course, to
Sure.
work on an IP for like Fairy Tale. But it was definitely, very lacking in different respect. And I'm hoping that, the One
Yeah.
Piece Odyssey is going to be different.
Well, because it's
Now,
such a different team, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lot different. I mean, it looks good. I mean, that's the main reason I feel like we draw in comparisons to that is because visually they look really good, right?
yeah,
They look
and
really solid and a similar visual style, similar aesthetic, I think, right?
I think I'm just worried about Titan games in general because they tend to be not great. There has been some exceptions, but a lot of those are like action games, right?
Yeah,
I think we talked about it. There aren't that many RPG anime Titan games.
it's
Uh,
true.
there were some notable ones back in like the Super Nintendo era. Now that I think about it, even PlayStation, but that's definitely like the exception and not the rule,
I
right?
think one of
So
the reasons for that is that, I mean, usually when you're working in somebody else's IP, you have a lot of extra restrictions. But with
yeah,
with Oda involved in this one, I think they won't run into that as much. Like they'll have a little more space to explore within. Maybe this is a
absolutely,
story he wanted to tell anyway, but never did through the manga, or who knows.
absolutely.
So
I vaguely remember him saying something funny like, "Oh, I designed all these characters years and years ago, and I did all this and wrote all this years ago, and I almost forgot that I had done this
oh,
until they
because he
released
forgot
the
about the
trailer."
game. Oh
Well,
my
yeah,
god.
because I
Yeah.
bet you like Bandai just went like, "Hey, can you just like write us like something?" That we may or
Yeah.
may not do something with it, and then they're like, yeah, sure, as long as you pay me, I'll do it. And then and he probably did, and it just took it took a while to put this game together, right?
Wow.
uh
That's pretty wild actually to hear about. I mean, I
so
remember
I
I think we talked about that before once, but that's
yeah,
it's it's been so long that I've forgotten about it. So I can only imagine what Oda must be feeling like after so many years.
man, yeah, I think specifically he was talking about some like original characters that he designed for the
Yeah.
game, and he completely forgot that he had made these characters. But I think it's great. Whether or not it's true, or just him in a sense of humor, I'm not sure. But hey, regardless, I think having the original author involved is a great sign that this will be different. And looking at the game now, like from this truly extended system trailer, they called it, uh, you know, it feels like they've given a lot of thought about traversal and battle, and it's not just like One Piece is famous and we'll make a game to cash out on it.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what I don't want to see.
Yeah.
So
A lot of the worst approaches to making tie-in games is to basically take a game you were gonna make anyway, one of your ones that couldn't have stood up on its own 2 feet, and just swap in character models and trappings and trimmings to make it look like, to bear some resemblance to the original in visuals only, or, but I don't think that, I suspect this one's going to be pretty good.
yeah, absolutely. So speaking on like limited edition, I've heard actually over in my stream that some folks weren't so lucky they weren't able to get a copy of the limited edition. But I just went to uh the Bandai website and it looks like the pre-order is still open.
Oh.
So I don't know. They were saying like something's wrong with the system and they wouldn't let them order. I haven't gone through the process of ordering it again. I know mine went through because they charged me for it. I haven't gotten the game, but
well, we've both been on the other side of that, where we've been charged and then don't get what we ordered.
really, that's never happened to you. Wait, what?
It had, so yeah, that happened to me when I ordered the original Take Your Heart edition of Persona 5. I ordered pre-ordered on
wow.
Amazon, and then they must have oversold, so they just refunded me. And I'm like, hey, that doesn't help me.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, if they refund me, I'd be kind of mad. Like,
I'd be even more
now.
mad if they didn't.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So, do you want to move on?
What do you mean a refund?
Right.
But yeah, so definitely, yeah, I think we're good with the trailer. I really love what I'm seeing right now from the trailer. It looks really good.
It really does look awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully it will come out to be a fantastic game, and I can't wait to play that on stream actually.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Are you going to be playing it when it comes out, or are you going to hold off a little bit so people can play ahead?
I'm gonna hold off a little bit just to give people a chance to play it.
I
Yeah,
don't blame
but
you.
definitely the very next game that I have a chance to play is gonna be this.
All right. Well, everybody, make sure you keep an eye out for this, because it's coming out on the 13th of this month here. It's coming out on
That's right.
PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Oh, wait, not, well, Series X. It doesn't say yes. I don't know. Anyways, the demo is available tomorrow on all supported platforms.
Yes.
And yeah, and Baku was, yep, you already mentioned that about the pre-orders and all that. So
Yeah. So
Cool.
if you're still trying to make a move, I mean, it looks like the pre-order is still open if anyone's interested in that limited edition, which comes with a Luffy and Lim figure. Now, I can't say for sure if this game is going to be any good, but hey, if you do get the limited order, I'm pretty sure there's a Luffy fan out there who would just take the figure if nothing else. So
yep, probably.
yeah.
So we'll go ahead and move us along to the next section here of new games. Announcements about new
boy.
games.
Yes. All right. So, man, this is definitely so first of all, it's going to be all indies and it's all things that has happened during MagFest 2023, which I keep telling Derek that he needs to attend. I would hate to walk next to him because I think he's gonna keep getting stopped by like adoring fans. Like, are you the Super Derek? Can I get your autograph? People gonna swarm you for photos.
Well, okay, so I love going to conventions, but when I used to go to Portland Retro Gaming Expo every year without fail, and I wouldn't ever get swarmed. I had people who would approach and they'd, want to talk, and I loved that, and I would absolutely love to do that again someday. Unfortunately, MagFest is where exactly?
DC.
DC. It's in DC. Oh man,
Well, it's like really close to DC.
it's so far away from here.
We've talked about this. We've talked about
It's so
this.
far away.
It's so worth.
I
It's so
want
worth.
I want to go to MagFest. I really do.
Yeah.
All of my friends are over in the East Coast now,
Mhm.
except for John, Happy Console Gamer, who's still West Coast.
Mhm.
And it would be nice to meet up with some people again
Telling you,
and hang out.
you gotta come by.
And I got family on the East Coast now as well. I'm
You
running
got
out of
family.
reasons not to go, but I mean, except for the one that kind of trumps everything else, and that's funding.
Did you guys
So
hear
yeah,
that?
if you guys want me to attend MagFest, reach out to the organizers and see if you can hook me up.
I think you know what? I think we need to start like a 2024 MacFest GoFundMe for Derek. I think that's what we need to do. Because apparently that's how anything is getting funded nowadays is just GoFundMe. But yeah, I would love to hang out with Derek at MacFest. Speaking of MacFest,
I know.
let's
And
talk
if we
about
do, you owe me dinner. You're going to take me out to all the good food spots, right? I think
yeah,
we mentioned that in a previous podcast.
yeah, I mean, you make that sound like an issue. Like, I would love
Oh,
to
no.
do that. Yeah, I'd love to take you around to just, wine and dine to Derek.
I'm down.
Then
I'm down.
we can Netflix and chill later. Actually, no, we'll be chilling in the game room because that con is basically just 24 hours of like game music, analog games, video games, indies, classic consoles, arcade games from Japan. Just you name it,
So
they've got it.
So I've been to like Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which is
Mhm.
pretty much like it is a gigantic swap meet, but it also has like some arcades and stuff, and it has
Mhm.
people there doing like panels and such. Um, is that kind of like what MagFest is? Tell me more about MagFest. I don't know much about it, so just
Sure.
set the scene. What is like? I
So
feel like
this is the
yeah,
20th anniversary for the convention. So this thing's been going on for 20 years. Again, this is the
since
20th. This year,
2003.
this year's the 20th year.
Wow,
And I know that because I bought the 20th anniversary sweat bag because it was the 20th anniversary.
nice.
Oh boy, I thought I was gonna bring this. I'll show it to you later. Um, it's this playable badge that they have, and I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. But yeah, it's the 20th anniversary. They've been going on for that long. MagFest stands for Music and Gaming Festival.
Okay.
Now I don't know how it all started, but I think the gaming side definitely won out. So it is definitely a game fest.
Okay.
And
So
celebrating all
it's a
kinds of games.
games and game music fest now.
Yeah, well, yeah, more like that. We've got all kinds of bands. Like music is a huge part of this. Like you've got people play music in the hallway. You have traditional instruments. You've got the Triforce Quartet. I think they have really made their name in MacFest. You've got rock bands. You've got EDM.
Wait, rock bands or people playing rock band? Just quick.
An actual rock band with like
Oh,
actual
man.
guitars and actual bass.
Okay,
Like
fine.
actually talented people and musicians playing game music,
Okay.
though. Or like some kind of remix of like game inspired tracks. Like there's all kinds of just imagine like overclock like remix, but like live.
Nice. That sounds like a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
It is amazing.
Was
So that's
Brental
the
Floss
music aspect.
was Brental Floss there?
I don't know
Oh, okay.
because I didn't spend the whole time listening to music. I was also playing games.
All right.
There
fine.
are panels with industry folks. One of my favorite shows on YouTube. What is it called? Shoot. God, I sound like a fake fan, but my brain's just not functioning.
It's okay. That happens when I
extra
put people on the
credit.
spot. Oh, extra
Yeah,
credit was
extra
there.
credit. Like I didn't see them this year. I don't know if they went because I was busy catching up with friends I haven't seen over COVID from different states. So I didn't like get to go to panels. But
Mhm.
I've seen James there. They've talked about things. There are folks from the game creating community that would give advice for new indie developers even. So you've got that kind of industry panels. It's a whole bunch of things. There are board games, new board games, new indie games, which we'll talk a lot about. And again, you've got arcade games that are shipped from Japan so that you can play here and you might not be able to play anywhere else. And it's on for basically 24 hours a day for at least 2 nights or 2 days, right? So
Interesting.
it's crazy fun.
Okay, so that's a whole different sort of like dichotomy than the cons that I'm used to going to, which is like basically like a big old swap meet that happens to have a con attached. But this is like entirely like,
Oh no, this is huge.
okay,
You have to come. I would not make you fly all the way in just for like a swap meet. Like, no, this is next level stuff. This is the best con
okay,
I've ever gone to, and I keep going to.
all right.
I know,
Maybe
high
I'll need to
praises
check
for
it
Mag.
out.
It's almost like I'm speaking. That they're what is it? That I'm sponsored by them. Hashtag not sponsored.
I mean, hashtag could be sponsored if
Hashtag could be
you
sponsored.
could seriously bring me out there, guys. I'll talk you up. I'll do way better at talking you up than Baku.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Trust this man when he said he can do it. Yeah, no. I did post some pictures of me playing some rhythm game in the arcade, and they're just amazing fun. Jukebox
Sounds like
lines
a
were going
blast.
down like 50 people. It was nuts.
Dude,
But
that's so
anyways, yes. So let's talk a little bit about and feel free to post anything, ask anything about MagFest. Well, I'd love to talk to you. But let's talk about some of the folks who were so kind to talk to me and give me their insight. And let's start with this game called Shrines Legacy. And we did talk about this.
I never heard of them before. What?
What? No, we've talked about this. We've talked about this.
I know. I'm just kidding.
In fact, we talked about them because they had local share screen co-op, and we are talking about like, hey, like what if we want a game that we can play on local co-op? And it turns out, or at least from the Steam page, it says that they have remote play together function.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, they've
I
added
know.
that now.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like maybe the final build, like we can just remote play and play this game together. I think it's really cool.
And that's from Positive Concept Games, right?
That's correct. It is from Positive Concept Games. So this developer is really just a duo of friends, and I got to talk to one of them. I think his name is Joseph. I was asking him, so like, where did this begin? And they said that he said that the game development really begun back even in high school.
Oh, really?
Years and years and years ago.
Oh, man. It's one of those kinds of games,
it's one of those kinds, and they've just been working on this like on and off for a while, and they're finally bringing it out to market, and I think this is super awesome. And and we talked a little bit about how the character moves and just all kinds of challenges. Joseph's in the chat. Hello, Joseph. That's me. Says, yeah, welcome to the stream. And feel free to correct me on anything that I am saying that's incorrect. But yeah, we can look at a trailer that they had put together for the Kickstarter that they had done before.
Okay, so this is the Kickstarter trailer that they did a little while back.
Just so y'all
just
have
to remind
an
everybody
idea.
how awesome this thing is. All right, let's pull this up. I'm probably not going to get DMCA'd for this one. I'll turn it up.
Well, unless Joseph wants to DMC us afterwards. These guys showed the trailer without permission. Nah. How dare you talk about our game?
But yeah, one of the first things about this trailer that I remember seeing a long while ago was the font is it's inspired by like the original, at least the text in the game is inspired by Illusion of Gaia, Soul Blazer, Terra Enigma, that classic font. And that's just the first thing that caught my eye, because the rest of the game went on to continue to show its inspirations and the Secret of Mana with the 2-player co-op. Some of the enemy designs are pretty reminiscent, and some of the gameplay, the puzzles, remind me a lot of Soul Blazer and Illusion of Gaia. at least in the demo. They released a demo a while back, played through it, gave my impressions on it. If you want to check that out, please do. It's definitely got me excited to see where they take the game from there.
Yeah, I think they were talking about releasing some kind of new demo with like updated graphics and what have you. They're definitely getting feedbacks from just these like local playtests. So, man, I'm excited to see what the finished product looks like. So talk a little bit about that dive attack. Remember we were talking about?
Yeah.
Terranigma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Something's like stuck in my throat. Yeah. So I played through part of it, and there's a lot of puzzles involved. And one of the things I do really like is how intuitive the control is, and how smooth all the actions are. Because I think that's like the big thing for me is if your control scheme is just all over the place for an action game.
Oh, it's got to be
especially.
intuitive.
Yeah, where every second like counts, right? Like, and it gets intense, right? You might even panic a little bit. The control feels really good. It's very intuitive. There's this very slight learning curve, but that's every game. Okay.
Sure.
And the response was just very fluid. I'm actually shocked that it is just made between just like two friends. The quality of the game is just really up there.
Yeah.
And so I'm very glad to have played that game.
So how was the booth? How I saw you took pictures of the booth, I think, right?
I had to wait a while to play the game because people were just so into it. And I had to give it up. I had to give up my seat too because I'm like playing, and I'm just like in the corner of my eye. I see people just waiting. I'm like,
They're like
wanna keep playing,
eyeballing
but
you.
I gotta go. I have to relinquish the controller. Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
fine, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you have played the demo before, right?
I have not.
Oh, you
No,
never
this is
did play
actually
the
the first
demo?
time. No,
Oh.
this is the first time I got to play it. Yeah, and in
Really?
fact, since we're talking about the demo is available on Steam actually. So if y'all are interested, I believe there's a new demo that they might be working on. I don't know. Well, we'll let Joe tell you about that. But there is a demo available on Steam. So yeah. So, but the local co-op thing, I think that's probably like the biggest sell point for me. If I have to talk to
Yeah.
somebody, especially a lot of these games, like the common theme that I've gotten from talking to all these indie developers is like, hey, we're making games for like the busy parent, the busy professional, who don't have a lot of time, to blow like 120 hours on another persona, right?
Yeah.
Like we want games that are short, straight to the point, and just really give us like awesome gameplay and a cool story. And I think that's what we're getting from these games, right?
Yeah. I mean, and
so-
there's nothing wrong with those personas, by the way, or that
Yeah.
take up 100 hours, but man, sometimes it's really hard to commit to those, and sometimes you just want to play through a game in a week or two and
Oh,
just
absolutely.
remember it in its entirety and not be like, oh, I got to put this game down and then I'm lost and I gotta, yeah.
Yeah. So, recapturing the feeling of, sitting in, the living room and playing games with your friends. I think this is super cool.
Yeah.
But maybe a more modern example would actually be sitting in the living room playing with your kids, right? For a lot of us,
Yeah.
right? So the two characters, Rio and Rema, that you saw in the trailer, you can switch off between the two of them if you're playing by yourself, or one person can control each of the character. Rio is better at short range attack, and Rema is
range
more
fighter.
magically inclined.
Mhm.
Yeah, and as you attack enemies, you regain like these, for the lack of better words, mana points. Because I'm sure Joseph will correct me and be like, "No, we called it this." Okay, just for the lack of correct
fake
words,
fan.
I'm gonna call it. The points of which you can use to use magic, and there are different elements of magic that you can equip onto yourself. So
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that far. I only got like to use the ice element. I mean,
I was gonna say, did you get to play around with like the physics of the magic at all?
Yes, and it feels really good. And you have to use some of those to help you solve like the puzzle so
Yeah.
that you can move forward. So that's definitely a good amount of thinking involved.
I like
It's
the
not just
fire.
like
I like the fire. You could like light a set of bushes on fire and it would just expand,
right.
and then it would hurt all the enemies just hanging out in the tall
Yes,
grass.
burn. Yeah, so I'm loving. I love what I got to get my hands on, and they're working on improvements. So definitely got to meet one of these like quirky grandma character, and I want to know more about the world. But unfortunately, my time with the game ended right around there because again, I had to relinquish controller so other people may enjoy the game. But that is Shrine's Legacy. And again, that game was slated to release sometime this year. Best wishes
Really?
to folks over at what was it?
Positive Concept
Game.
Games.
Positive Concept Game. I want to say Good Concept Game. Positive Concept Game. You guys done a fantastic job, and I look forward to trying it out once it's
Yeah.
released.
Check out my
Yeah.
impressions video if you haven't already. See if it's something that you'd
Yes.
like to try out for yourself, and if so, at least try out the demo and give them some feedback of your own. Maybe
Yeah,
it'll
absolutely.
get make its way into the cut.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Another title that I got to test play that we were all very interested about was called the WrestleQuest. So I finally got a chance to I believe his name is Nate Flynn.
Okay.
And fun fact is there's a group of very similar level developers in their company, and they're all named Nate. So
The
apparently
Nates.
there's a council of Nates. And that's why he goes by his last name because everybody's Nate. So he's like, no, I'm Flynn. I was like, Flynn? I've not heard of that as a first name before, but okay. Like maybe like Flender, but
I feel like taking a quick diversion because it recently came to my attention that a good friend of both of ours, you might know him in the chat as Naticus. His name is actually supposed to be Naticus, and it's like I don't even know who he is anymore. He's one of the Nates.
You're one of the Nates?
Yes, right. I don't even know who he is anymore. It's just I'm just gonna pretend that this is forbidden knowledge. I don't know. So
yeah,
just,
she's still Naticus. No.
yep, still
No.
Naticus. It's
Not a Naticus.
yeah. It's Naticus.
Yeah.
It just sounds weird now. Anyways, continue on with your story about the Nates.
So yeah. So hey, fun fact about this game. Actually it turns out that each of these folks in the game, they're basically living in a world that's not dissimilar from like a Toy Story world in this game. So all the
Oh.
characters, yeah, they're basically like action figures.
They're like the WWF little action figure characters that you used to get
Yeah.
back in the 90s that would like have like the guys with like the weird like proportions where they're not quite like tall as like a normal character.
Right?
They're-
Yeah.
They're all like kind of short and stubby and like super buff and like they don't really move all like they should.
So they're all like action figures and like and figurines. So you'll see like a G.I. Joe kind of character. You might see like a Lego looking character. And that's like by design. It's like this is kind of like a toy store. In fact, I think the world is called Toy Box.
Okay.
Where these characters are aspiring to be the next like wrestling superstar. So
Okay.
it's kind of cool. You want to take a look at the trailer?
Yeah,
real
let
quick?
me get a refresher because it's been a minute since I think we
It's
watched
been a
the
minute
trailer.
since we looked at it. Yeah.
All right, let's pull this up here.
You
An
see like the
epic.
joints in their arm, like
Yeah, I see
know-
it now. Okay, I don't think I caught
Yeah.
that the first time watching this through.
me neither. Because like it's just so over the top that like these details, like I just like ignored it basically.
Yeah.
But no, they're all toy figures.
Oh, they got the little legs.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly what that is. That makes. I was like, before I was like, okay, yeah, they got some stylistic choices going on here. Now I see it.
Yes.
Andre the Giant just, or I mean, Andre the very. I mean, I don't know if we can. A very distinct entity other than Andre the Giant lifting up the entire ring. This is classic.
Yeah. So now WrestleQuest. So I was talking to them, and they said that this is actually the something like the 12th iteration on the sprites. In fact, originally this game was supposed to be made that would be playable on like Super Nintendo hardware.
Okay.
Back from the very beginning concept.
Oh, like it was going to be kind of
Um,
like a ROM hack, you mean? Or
I don't know if it's
okay,
like ROM hack per se, but like I
but
think
something that could have fit on a Super
yeah,
Nintendo.
and
Like,
and
okay.
the joke is that now the main character sprite wouldn't fit into a Super Nintendo cartridge, according to Nate. Well, one of the Nates.
Oh, sure,
So
sure.
I thought that was really cool. So there are something like 120 characters, something like 50 hours of core story. And
Oh,
they've been developing this thing for about 3 years now. So super cool. Now, one of the big things that I've asked Flynn was, okay, so you've got this wrestling show. What's combat like? Because I think that was like the biggest thing was
hmm,
combat,
yeah.
right? Like, yes, the characters are wrestlers, but if it's still just like a regular like turn-based RPG, it's just like, yeah, it's wrestling theme, but what's so different? This
Yeah.
is basically Final Fantasy with like wrestling skin, right?
Hmm.
Not
I mean,
so.
not that there would be a problem with that, if I
Not
may
that there'd be
say
a
so.
problem with it, but I think it would be like just a little bit of what's the word that I'm going for? It would be a missed opportunity, right? To
Sure.
do something fun.
To do something
Well,
truly unique, right?
to something truly unique. Yes. And so as I'm playing through the game and playing through the like sort of the battle scenario that they had at MagFest,
Hmm.
um so Flynn explained to me that one of the things that they have realized about a lot of these RPGs is that people will figure out the optimal way to battle, and then they will min max, and that's basically it. They may not try different things, they may not use other things. And as RPG gamers that we
Yeah.
are, we've
Hmm.
played so many. Yeah, we definitely
I'm guilty.
recognize that it's
Yeah.
kind of like the unspoken rules. Like you're right, like that's totally a thing. So they said that in creating this game with that in mind, what they have added in the very bottom that you'll see is something called hype meter. And
Okay.
basically, the concept with the hype meter is that that's the hype meter from the audience watching the fight.
Okay.
So not only do you have to defeat your opponent and pin them down and do all the stuff, and there's this like time sequence that you have to hit. Otherwise, you fail to pin your
Oh.
opponent. They come back. It's just like wrestling,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
But the hype meter will encourage you to use different combination of moves through the battle so that you're
Oh.
not just repeating the same thing over and over
Okay.
again,
You
because
got to
that's
make a
not going to
show
get you
of it.
hype. You got to make a show of it. And I'm just like, you've sold me on this. I need to see it in execution. It is
Okay.
so cool.
This sounds like
Uh
that'd be a lot of fun to stream.
yes, it absolutely does. Which I've
Because
asked all the devs. I'm like, would you guys mind if I stream your game? They're like, oh yeah, no, please stream away. So I'm totally gonna be streaming these games as well.
oh, that's so cool. They don't have like
Hmm.
weird abstract like restrictions about like not playing past a certain date or
Yeah, imagine that.
huh.
Imagine,
Oh, that's so
yeah,
strange.
imagine valuing streamers like promoting their games. Imagine that.
I don't know. It's such a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, tell me about it. But yeah, so it's a super cool game, and I think that's like the big thing that I want to touch on is expect some really cool combats. I tried it out, and it was just a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it.
Yeah. I feel like I
So
should add in a quick note here. I just read in the
mm,
chat from Miami Sunrise. It says,
mm.
so in the wrestling game, you have to hype responsibly.
Oh
Huh?
jeez.
Yes. This is my kind of game.
Miami Sunrise.
I've missed this.
I don't miss this. This is the one thing I don't miss in my life. Uh, so now the game is slated for a May 2023 release on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox XS, Switch, and PC via Steam. So definitely look forward to that. All right. And next up, we've got a 1-2 punch from the creators of Shadows of Adam and publishers of Pillars of Dust. Something Classic Games is working on not one, but 2 RPG titles coming, one coming possibly late 2023, but
wait,
definitely,
2?
Two games. 2 games. And I've asked them about that too. I'm just like,
I've only heard of Quartet.
Most company works on 1 game at a time. It's like, nope, we're going to work on 2 of them at a time. Like, very ambitious. Yeah.
How have I missed them?
So, well, let's talk about the one that you've heard about. So,
Sure.
Quartet is scheduled for late 2023 and early 2024. And there is a playable demo that's available through the Something Classic website. And we'll provide that link, of course, in the description after the show. And from at least what I've heard is that it will be soon available on Steam.
Nice.
Potentially.
Oh, the demo, not the whole game.
Demo, yeah.
Okay.
So we got a trailer that we can look at. So do you want to just look at the trailer first, and then we can talk more about it? I believe this is the first time we've talked about Quartet.
Okay. You know what? Is this? I don't know. I don't think this is the first time we've talked about. I think we've talked about Quartet once before, but it's been a while. I think it was back when it was first announced. Because I was really excited because Something Classic, or they do something pretty cool. Here, let's pull them up here. But yeah, so Quartet is sort of like a successor in the same vein, as I understand it, as Shadows of Adam. You know, visually, stylistically, except as the name might imply, there are more than 4 people. I don't know.
So Quartet, there are actually 8 playable characters.
That's what I thought, but I was about to say, I think that there's like over. I was like, as the name might imply, there are 8 people, but was like, wait a second, Quartet. That's not how that goes at all.
Well, I'll explain how that works. So there are 8 playable characters, and each of the 2 characters forms like opening chapter, if you will, and there are 4 of those.
Okay.
Right. So the people that you're looking at right now is named Ben and Agata, and those are the 2 characters that I had played in my opening chapter, if you will. There are 4 opening chapters, tells 4 very different stories. But then, from my understanding, is that once you play through these 4 chapters, there will be a chapter where their lives sort of converge.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like one journey.
Okay. So so there's somebody in the chat who says something along the lines of 8 characters, 4 stories, 1 destiny.
Oh my God. Is that how you want us to sell the game? That's fine. All right, Derek, can you repeat that in the most dramatic tone you can?
8 characters, 4 stories, and 1 destiny.
There you go. Something classic. If you guys want to hire some voiceover work, Derek's available.
you know, funny you should mention that. I didn't really talk about it, but I am actually working on potentially going into some VA work. But
nice. Yeah, so that was Quartet, and here are the 8 playable characters. I don't know all their names, but I did play as Ben for however long the line allowed me to play, because I was starting to get stank eye for sitting around, and I'm like analyzing the puzzles, the pixels, and I'm just like really staring at it. I'm running in circles, like I'm doing literally anything but moving forward in the game. And I think people notice that, right? They're just like, what is this guy even doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to crash this game. What do you mean? Like,
you're trying No.
I mean, if I crash the game enough, maybe they'll pay me to QA it.
Trying to do some free QA. Okay, sure.
No, well, I look, ask them why they show up to these conventions, and they'll tell you half the reasons so that people can just do free QA work for them, right?
I mean,
Smart,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also getting feedback and also just getting the game out there. It's just like a 3-for-1 deal, right? So I did my part. I found some bugs. I won't say what, but I found a couple of bugs in all the games.
Did you kill them in the game? I mean, that's usually a pretty good way to get experience points, I think.
Well, but I've got to tell you, Ben's story was just hilarious, and so Ben is, and I can say this because this is just like in the beginning of the game. You'll find this out. Ben is a chef who's owed money, and then he's just a super unlucky guy. He's really down on his luck.
Mhm.
He's like middle-aged dude.
I
And
can
then
relate.
he just discovered that he can use magic, which is a very rare gift in this world.
Oh,
And that is how his story begins. It's just he's just this dude who's just down on his luck. He's like worried that he's late for rent. Just discovered that he has magic.
so
then
relatable.
just-
Except for the magic
just-
part.
Yeah, super relatable, except for the magic part. It's like I want magic. I'm a sad middle-aged man. I want to discover, and this the writing is just so nice because it's very self-aware. I'm like, one of the line was like, these things only happens to like kids. Like, aren't I too old for this? Like, it's just like things like that. I think y'all will enjoy the humor in this game very much as I had. The
Oh,
battle
man.
system was.
Have you
yeah,
played?
go ahead.
Have you played their previous game, Shadows of
I have
Adam?
not. I have not.
Oh,
Oh.
if you liked
Oh.
the humor and the writing,
Oh.
you owe it to yourself to play some Shadows
Oh.
of Adam.
Oh.
It's really good.
Well, now that you sold it that way, I have no choice.
I mean, I'm just saying. And it's usually and it's almost always on sale. Like go pick it up. It's-
Okay.
it's-
I'll
it's
do that
nice.
after the
It's very
show.
nice.
I'll do that after the show. Just for you, Derek.
Okay.
Just for you. Anyways, okay. So, yeah. So as I mentioned, they're 8 playable characters, 4 opening chapters. They all combine into a single story. And I'd ask them like, hey, the character selection screen almost reminds me of like Saga Frontier, right? You guys didn't see the character selection screen, but you know how I don't know if you remember Saga Frontier, but it's like this character's just kind of sitting around in like a plaza. So they got something similar to that in like the opening chapter where you select each of the characters to go first. And then basically they were like, oh, by the way, it's more like Octopath Traveler, but like the stories actually, like the characters actually communicate and interact with each other.
Wait,
And I was
is
like,
that possible? I didn't think that was possible.
I didn't think that was possible, but wow. Imagine 8 characters traveling on a journey and they actually interact with each other.
Wow.
Amazing. What
That's
a
weird.
novel concept. Yeah, it is
don't
so
know.
weird. I don't think it could be done, but I'm waiting for them to prove me wrong.
I'll be very interested to find out if this whole characters interacting with one another ever takes off. I don't know, man.
Yeah, right? All 8 of the characters interacting with each other? What?
No.
So again, this game is scheduled for late 2023, early 2024 release, depending on which developer you ask. I got 2 different throwing subtle
That's fair.
shade.
Sure.
Again, playable demo is available through the Something Classic website, which we will link down below. And from what I've been told, a newer demo may be coming soon. So please look forward to that. And as soon as they drop anything new, I'm hoping they'll tell us so that we can tell all of you.
That's right.
So that's Quartet. Now let's talk about this other game that I'm also extremely excited for also from Something Classic. Why don't we watch that opening video that I had to look through their Twitter to find because they couldn't send me a clip. Subtle shade number 2.
Sure. Okay. Now this is the game that I don't think I've heard of before, so I'm very, very curious about this one.
Yeah, I was shown a small clip of it from Ty over at Something Classic, and they didn't show me anything else. Yeah, but let's take a look at this.
All right. He's got an avocado. That was definitely an avocado.
So this is like
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
opening.
Ska punk music intro.
You're gonna get the MCA.
Oh, sounds a little ska punk. Oh, I love it though.
These are the playable characters, I think.
Yes! Oh my god.
Tyler said he arranged it, so he won't sue us.
Okay, part of this reminds me so much of like Ninja Turtles, a little bit of
Yes.
okay, it also gives me the option to watch again. I think one of those enemies with is the duck, and is the duck one of the mobs in Shadows of Adam? With I want like one of, I'm sorry, I gotta just watch this again. I love the animation. I would like to see some of the game, but I'm guessing that's probably a little early yet.
I've actually asked them about this, and I believe they were able to get the company that animated what was it? What was that hit like animation on Netflix? Castlevania.
What? Oh, they had somebody from that involved?
I believe so. I don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that was the case.
Okay.
So they managed to find a very reputable studio to make this for them.
God, that looks so dang cool.
It's so good. Yeah, and thanks for nothing, Ty, for I hunt this down in your official Twitter. Also, we'll be leaving a link down the description so you can follow their Twitter and also watch this video to your heart's content. Yeah, so all the things that we show, of course, as per usual, we link them in the description. So this is the second game that they're working on, and the game is called My Familiar. It is a turn-based RPG that is heavily inspired by, you guessed it, 90s cartoon.
Yes. Okay.
I was like, this is such a Derek like thing.
I mean, the two bouncers out front totally reminded me of like a samurai, like Bebop and Rocksteady, like straight away. I don't know. I don't know if that was their inspiration or not, but that was definitely, what immediately popped out at me. So that's super cool.
Yeah. So I can talk a little bit about my experience with this one. So instead of like starting with a certain chapter,
Oh,
I
so
think
you got to
there's
play a
really
little bit.
just yeah, I did. I see. This is why you had to come to MagFest.
You're
This is why
right.
you had to come to, and
You're
I
absolutely
found
right.
bugs for them. I have bugs credited under my name. Oh, this is the Baku bug right here.
Yep.
Yeah, yes,
Gonna
I
leave
do
that one in there
believe.
just to spite
Just
him.
gonna leave it in there just to spite me. But yeah, so you play as a character who is drifted into this world from our world, specifically this person set Texas. And this is just a very bizarre world where you've got all these animals that are like people, and it's very like kind of post-apocalyptic kind of feeling to it. And I would imagine that the story basically revolves around this person wanting to get out of this world and get back into the real world, so
Yeah.
to speak. So that's how the story's set up. Now, where does that take it? I don't know, and I haven't gotten that far. And even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you because that'd be spoiler. But that's how the game starts: is this person finding a place in this world and trying to climb up this, this mountain to get on this ship that supposedly will be able to return them home, so to speak. And that's the only lead that they got. So they're just traveling, and I would imagine that they just basically run into these folks. And I think the next character is like some kind of a bird that fights with a bat, and I think he's like a private eye that's kind of has a drinking problem for sure. So yeah, it's like, you know, I find these characters. I haven't seen the other characters yet, but at least, you know, a lot of these, it's just uh, it feels different. It feels more. It feels relatable in a way that I am ashamed to admit. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, no, but they're not like your typical JRPG characters, like
Yeah.
17 and saving the world, you know. Yeah,
Mhm.
we've got Ben, who is like a line cook, and then you've got like actually I don't know if he's a line cook, but you know, a down on his luck middle-aged guy, and then you've got this bird with like a drinking problem, and I think one of the quests has him going through his backlogs of requests from the city, and then one of them was you had to fight these rats, right? Like, oh, these rats are added again in the back of the at the diner. We need you to get rid of them. So then you confront them, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You know, that's the old me. I do a cleaning business now." And then the private guy, the private eye is like, "Yeah, like I'm gonna believe that." So you beat the snot out of them. They run away. You go back to collect pay, and then the owner person was like, "What? That's from years ago." And now I have to find somebody else to come in to like do the trash. Thanks a lot. Just take this money and get out of here. You know, like it's great. I love every second of me playing that game. And again, I had to give up the controller unwittingly because I was getting the stank eye from a line of people waiting to play. There were only 3 machines, and I think at the highest point I saw no less than 12 people waiting.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was bad.
That's awesome.
And I was like, just constantly
good problem
looking
to
over
have.
my shoulder.
It's a good
And I'm
problem for
like,
them to
"Oh,
have.
hi."
Sucks for you.
Yeah, it sucked for me, but it's okay. I wanted more people to have this experience. So yeah, so this is so now this one is looking to come out in the middle of 2024. So Quartet's going to come out earlier, and then My Familiar is going to come out later. My understanding is that there will be a trailer demo perhaps in a couple of weeks after Mag. They're going to go back and, you know, fix some things here and there, and then get like a stable demo out. So I'm looking forward to that. And as soon as they release anything, trailer or demo, you better believe that we'll talk about it here in HitPoint.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I suppose that does it for the MagFest recap. Thank you so much for being our man on the scene in the breaking, the bleeding edge of
I enjoy it. Yeah, I
indie
got to play
RPG
recorder.
development.
Yeah, I
got
got to play.
They let you play a recorder? What?
What?
You played a recorder? A reporter?
I got to play journalist. I am an ethical game journalist.
That's right. You
Yes.
get the kind of coverage,
Field reporting.
the kind of indie game coverage you can't find anywhere else but here on HitPoint. That's
Actually,
right.
I don't know if anyone is writing talking about My Familiar, and it's a shame that they don't, because the aesthetics that can I share their Steam page really quick on
yeah.
my on my browser?
You
You
may.
want to switch over for a second?
Sure.
Yeah,
Zoom in a
you
little bit
know,
so we can see a little better, though.
I've told them that I need here, let me up increase
Yeah.
the size. Yeah. Like this is the kind of aesthetics that you can expect. And
That
it just pops out at
cool.
you. It is different. Like this is what the battle looks like. This is actually the first like boss battle that you get to fight
Whoa.
in the very beginning town. Yeah. Yeah. And well, I mean, these 3 guys anyways, not this specific setup, but just these 3 guys are people that you can fight in the very first town.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
you'll notice these like lines. Actually, I don't know if you can see them because it's so small here, but these kind of like scan lines. So when
Oh, okay.
you're selecting and you want to target somebody,
Mhm.
like you have a very clear target, but the rest of them are kind of like
Oh, I see.
like
So
shaded behind the scan
So it's kind of like
line.
how some games might fade like or darken the back of the screen. Instead, what they do is like a
Yes.
kind of a scan line effect.
Correct.
Oh,
It's
that's
just these
clever.
like little touches that you will see in this game that basically tells me that they've given a lot of thoughts into how to present the game. The town in particular, I think is great because it's not like a grid, kind of like a Pokemon
Oh, go back
kind of
one.
town.
Go back
Like
one
the
picture.
roads, yeah, the roads kind of like go ups and diagonals. But it's not. It's messy, but not overwhelming. It
I
just
love
gives you enough.
I love
Yeah.
the way that these buildings look. It reminds me so
Mhm.
much of like the 90s cartoons I grew up watching that make me
Yes.
want to be like I want to be in, New York City or whatever
Mhm.
until I realized that I really don't. But
Yeah, it's just I think the biggest compliment I gave them was like the music is great, the art's great, the battle is fun. Yeah, I am definitely shilling a little bit.
oh, that's
I'm
okay.
sure.
That's okay.
Yeah,
You made some friends and you're allowed to show preferential treatment to your friends as far as I'm concerned.
it's just a really good game. Also, the inn is a sorry, a taco shop. It's also the inn. So I was like, awesome.
Nice. Gotta love it.
Yeah. So check this out. We'll be talking more about this game for sure. As there are new information that becomes available.
All right.
All right. And yeah.
I'm sorry. It is with a heavy heart that is the end of our MagFest coverage for this time for the year. But we can continue on by talking about some lame-o stuff, like starting with NieR Automata version 1.1.
Gross. NieR
I know.
Automata.
I know.
Yuck. Anyways, hey, so just
Oh, go ahead.
quick mention here that the NieR Automata version 1.1a, which is what they're calling the anime, I suspect that A stands for anime.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right.
It actually started airing on the 7th, so 2 days ago.
Mhm.
So if you have not caught it, NieR Automata is airing on Crunchyroll. I believe it is a simulcast. So basically, as soon as it's airing in Japan, you get the subbed version on Crunchyroll. The first episode covers like the opening dungeon. If anyone has played the game, pretty faithfully. However, I do want to remind folks that the anime will most likely take a pretty big turn away from how the game plays out. And this is just based on something that Yoko Taro had said. And
Okay.
truly, based on his personality, I would be surprised if the anime just plays out exactly like the game. I would be surprised. I would think that because Yoko Taro is behind this thing, is going to completely, it's probably going to start off the same.
Maybe
some
it's the double
point, it's-
switcheroo, though. Maybe he's
you
trying to
expect it to be
surprise
different?
you.
But it's not different.
Exactly. It's the 1-2, like, the little misdirection over here with that tweet, and then bam, the same thing you're already familiar with.
Yeah. So boy, I'm very interested to see where the anime will take us though. So look forward to that. More episodes to come. I think weekly. Yeah, and again, this is on Crunchyroll. So go take a watch if you're a Drakengard or NieR fan.
All right.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and move along here to something else from Square Enix here, because they're during an annual year company letter, Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda doubles down on his NFT and blockchain as a major area of investment. That was a little painful to say out loud, but anyways, he says, in terms of new business domains, we named 3 focused investment fields under our medium-term business plan. Among those, we're most focused on blockchain entertainment,
It hurts. It hurts to hear
to
that.
which we have devoted aggressive investments and business development efforts.
Yeah.
He continues on. Our group has multiple blockchain games based on original IPs under development, some of which we have announced last year and are undertaking preparations that will enable us to unveil even more titles
Symbiogenesis. Symbiogenesis. Not Parasite Eve.
Link in the description. So
Link in the description for the full letter.
So there's a question here that somebody added, and I think that's somebody's probably you, Baku. Who says, "How are we feeling here?"
Yeah, how are we feeling here? I think that's what I want to ask.
You know,
like,
we
not
hit
just the
such a
two of
high
us.
note just moments ago, and I am experiencing the worst kind of whiplash right now from like, oh man, the future's bright, things are excellent, and you know, I'm listening to, I still got ska punk in the back of my mind playing right now, which
Yeah.
means, you know, I'm doing good, but and then all of a sudden, nope. Oh,
You know, we've got games. I remember, I forgot who I was talking to at Mag, but
Mhm.
you know, I was like, you know, indie games. It might have been Flynn over at WrestleQuest. I was like, you know, indie games back then were basically just like RPG Maker with some, you know, unique like spin on it, perhaps, but
Mhm.
that was kind of it, right? And
For a
then now
while.
we've got yeah,
Mhm.
now we got these amazing looking indies that, you know,
Completely
really
completely bespoke.
yes, it challenges you into really questioning what even is in indies, right? Like you
Yeah.
look at I mean, heck, we look at specific, maybe specific my familiar. You look at my familiar, it's just like, and if I didn't tell you that this came from like, you know, an indie dev,
If you told me it was like some small branch of Konami, for instance, I would totally
yeah,
believe you.
yeah,
And I'd
because it's
be extremely
so,
excited.
yeah,
But
so well polished.
yeah.
You know, everything like that, those pixel works.
Hmm.
I was just like, what? Who did this?
I
Like,
know.
this is amazing
Hmm.
looking.
It's a
Um,
kind of a changing of the guard going on here, right?
Right.
I
And
dig
and
it.
that's like the indie scene. And then here we are with like your triple A studio NFTs, the future. It's like I don't know how to feel about this, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't do this to me.
You know, it's at times like this that I'm reminded by a great mentor of mine. His name
Mhm,
was Mr. Miyagi, and he said, "When life loses its focus,
mhm,
return to the basic of life, which is just breathing, right? Just
mhm.
breathe in and breathe out. That is the basic of life," he says, right? Um, Square Enix needs to go back to the basics. They're trying to do too much. They're losing focus. They're doing something weird with NFTs. They lost me, man. And meanwhile, look at. I mean, I'm not saying this like what these indie devs are doing is anything basic, but they've got the focus. They know what they're doing. They know where they're going and how they're going to get there. Square
Yeah.
Enix, I mean, they're so divided. I mean, on the one hand, they're churning out remakes and remasters that are doing pretty good, all in all.
Yeah.
Some things they're doing are pretty solid, but then you have this guy at the top who just, I mean, it's sad because I feel like if Japanese culture was a little bit different and you were allowed to disagree a little bit more vocally with your boss, this would have been stopped a long time ago. I don't think that
Yeah.
everybody's on board with this. I think it's one man. This is Don Quixote and his windmill, I think. And it's
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Someone actually came into my chat telling me that no, Square Enix, they're not that. And this is before this newsletter, by the way,
mhm,
like this
yeah.
this New Year letter. And they're like, oh, you know, they're not spending that much money. They're changing their mind. Like, don't worry
No,
about
they
it.
they haven't. I
And
mean, in this letter, saying what was the exact focus here? The in terms of new business domains, we've three focus investment fields
mhm,
under the medium term plan. We are among those. We're most focused on
most
blockchain,
focused on blockchain entertainment. Yeah.
and that's like he can't lie about that. You're not allowed to lie in letters like that to your investors, and
Yeah.
honestly, he shouldn't be.
Well, I remember, how we got to it. I was talking about like the Square Enix and their lack of focus, right? And we did
Mhm.
get games like Life Alive, that is true. And because I was still streaming Star Ocean, I was just like, yeah, I wish that they would spend more money on polishing up a game like this and giving TriAce the funding that they need instead of, doing some NFT stuff, which is a major investment, so much so that they're selling companies to fund this. But the person that I talked to obviously didn't agree with my viewpoint on this and kind of underplayed it. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'm sure that's not correct, but okay, whatever you say, because maybe you read something that I didn't. And then, wouldn't you know it, like a week later, this newsletter came out. And then
Mm.
here we are, right? Among those, we're most focused on blockchain entertainment, and to which we have devoted aggressive investment and business development efforts. And I'm like, yeah, that's not someone who's backing out and like slowly like retracting from NFT. No, this is someone who's doubling down and being
What
like, you know
iceberg?
what, this is right,
Full
you're
steam ahead.
wrong, full steam ahead.
Yep.
Like,
I don't see any
no.
icebergs. We're good.
Yeah. So no to whoever told me that they are slowing down, backtracking, walking back on this NFT effort. Okay, read the newsletter, and then if you still feel confident that you're right, come talk to me again, because I don't think that's I just don't think that's reality.
Yeah.
This is reality. The letter that he just out, that is reality, and it's unfortunate. I don't want that to be reality, but that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my question to you guys for today. Like, how are you guys feeling about NFT and blockchain? Do you feel the same kind of enthusiasm? Like, don't feel bad saying it, because maybe you know something we don't.
And
Uh,
I feel like you and I do have a history of trying to approach the subject of NFTs and blockchain technology as it relates to entertainment and gaming from a
yeah.
very pragmatic perspective. Not and I don't mean that in like a very cynical way. Like
Mhm.
we're open-minded generally about
Yeah.
NFTs and the technology as a possible, thing in the future if it can be used in a unique way that is
Mhm.
distinct to what it can offer, right? And maybe there are some possibilities
Mhm.
of great ways to implement that. But
Yeah.
is Square Enix going to find those? I don't know. It just smacks a little too much of all of the other people who made, and the weirdest thing is all these other companies made immediate pivots to making NFTs like Konami, etc. Um,
Mhm.
and and they got while the getting was good. Square Enix is showing up like three to 5 months late on this, and they're like, "We have the future."
Do you remember the
meanwhile,
first
meanwhile,
NFT
NFTs
product?
have crashed. Yes, we talked about this in the last episode.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was the action figure integration, right?
Yeah, it was the cloud. It was like a cloud figure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the regular version, and then there's the NFT version for like an extra $20. You get like a special NFT that comes with this figure. And I was like, I mean, I can see NFT being assigned as like a digital certificate so that you can combat potentially what is it called, counterfeit figures, which is a big
Yeah.
problem.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that
But
had
that's,
some utility. Is it
yeah,
offset by the extra cost?
yeah, not by the extra cost. And because now I'm basically saying I'm going to upsell you for $20, and this is kind of an investment, which I don't think is the right way to go at it. Now the companies say, as an extra benefit, we've created like a digital certificate that's an NFT
Mm-hmm.
for your figure with no extra charge. It's just a thing that our company would do from now on. That I would support, because you're not
Yeah.
losing anything. Now there's a digital certification.
Or maybe
So
some small upcharge for the gas involved, right?
sure, right, but not $20.
No.
Definitely
No.
no, because they're treating this like, oh, this is gonna grow in value. You're gonna want this. It's just gonna be $20 for us for today, but trust me, this is gonna go up in value in no time. Yeah, that's a little scummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not what they're trying to do. Like I can see how that could be value, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do. So I don't support it. But anyways, we'll see what they do about this. But let us know in the comments how you guys feel about it.
Yep, that's how I'm feeling about it. Let's move
All right,
along.
well,
Let's do some cool stuff.
Some better news, some much brighter news, a corporation doing good things, maybe. So Sony, through CES, had just revealed their new accessible controller kit, called what is it? Project Leonardo. So can we scroll over to my screen real quick?
You bet.
Yeah.
There we go.
So this is the PlayStation blog, and of course, link in the description down below. I just want to share with you guys what that looks like. So this circular sort of disc with like buttons on the side, that is Project Leonardo. And in fact, there are a pair of them.
Okay.
And so what the sell point for this, of course, is for folks with perhaps physical disabilities, who otherwise would not be able to game with just the controller that comes with the system, and they need special accommodation. And so, this is not a new concept. We've seen this from Microsoft, right? And the Microsoft version, hold on, I forgot what the Microsoft version is called. The Microsoft version is called the Xbox Adaptive Controller, right? I don't know if you've ever seen it before.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So and I've praised Microsoft to the heavens for that, because I feel like as gaming industry grows, we do have to really think about accessibility, and color blindness is one thing that a lot of game developers is thinking about, but just physical disability, like preventing people from enjoying a game, that's very unfortunate. So this panel, these two like circles that you see, all the buttons, they can be replaced and remapped.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are some plates that you can put on. So this is like a double plate, and then you can change all the buttons. You can change this knob here. Instead of a giant knob, it could be like a small, like flat surface, and you can remap all the buttons in software.
And the wild thing is, it looks like a controller that could potentially be used as people who just might prefer it as a controller method. Like it doesn't look, it legitimately just looks kind of cool, to be totally honest, which is something that you don't see in a lot of accessibility hardware.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There could be some creative way to play too, like even for anyone who may not have a special need, like they might just find creative way of using this.
It almost looks like a fight stick of some sort. But
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
really
as you can see, you can use only one of these. You can use it in tandem with the controller, the DualSense controller. You can use a pair of them, or any kind of combination. And the coolest thing is that these circular discs, they can work in conjunction with third-party controls or accessories that can further provide level of accessibility or more custom accessibility. So that's something that they're really selling on. Now they do have a video, but like I felt like the video was just a bunch of people talking about it, not really demonstrating it. But this thing is still like under development. I don't think that there's even a price tag on this thing yet. So
if I had to guess, it's probably not cheap. But
it's probably not cheap, which is the thing that I was going to say, because it's like, oh, these customability and it looks really cool. Is the price accessible?
I don't know,
because the PS5 is already pretty pricey. It's just like
it's getting better. It's getting better.
It is getting better for sure. Yeah. But I think that's the only thing that it worries me a little bit. Like, how affordable would this thing actually be? I don't know, but hey, I'm always happy to see more ways for people to game, and breaking down barriers for people to enjoy these games, that's something that's worth celebrating. So yes, on the one hand, we're getting NFTs, but hey, more accessibility features for PlayStation 5, and that's cool on my book.
I'm definitely a fan of things that help people get over barriers for sure.
Yeah. So as there are more news on this, we'll be able to share that with you all.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of getting over barriers, we have a little bit of community news here to talk about. And oh man, I'm very excited about this. And no, I'm not making a reference to Trails from Azure, Trails to Zero, from Zero to Azure rather. But it kind of tangentially related in a sort of roundabout way I am, because you see, in community news, the Geofront team have recently announced The Legend of Heroes 3, The White Witch fan localization project. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with
Are you changing screens, by the way?
Oh, fine. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Geofront team, well, you might have heard of them a time or two when I've talked about how first I used their fan patch to play initially through my time with Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure, and how they have basically they're a much celebrated fan localization community within the community rather, and they were so well renowned that they actually got to work with NIS America in order to use their localizations as the basis for the official patches or the official releases of the games, which are Trails from Zero, which is already out, and Trails to Azure, which is coming out in March of this year. So,
oh boy,
super, super awesome stuff. But what's super cool about this one in particular is that this is not part of the Kiseki series. This is part of the Legend of Heroes overarching story, and it's part one of what is called the Gargov trailer. Gargharv. It's hard. Gargharv. Bark. Gargharv trilogy.
I'm reading that and I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm leaving that with you.
I'm taking it. That's fine. So
I would have said Gaghov.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's no first R. It's Gagarv. Maybe it's Gaffarv with a GH, like cough.
Gagoff.
Gagar. You know what? We'll have the official spelling of this available in the description down below. But they're specifically localizing the Windows version of this, which is super cool. And what's really important about this one in particular, for a lot of people who are big Falcom fans, is a lot of you might know that The White Witch was famously the game that has inspired Toshiro Kondo's love of RPGs, and by extension, Falcom itself, which inspired him to start his own fan site back in his college days, which in a roundabout way led to him eventually finding employment within Falcom and placing him now as the CEO of the company. So that's pretty dang rad. We also got a couple of quotes here. Chat is full of pronunciation guides. Thank you so much, everybody. I kind of prefer my own. Gargarv. But anyways, now I will say that here's some quotes from the Geofront team so far. They say,
yes,
we've been working on The White Witch for a little over a year now. They've been pretty quiet about it. And they say our rule at the Geofront is that we do not announce a project unless we are 100% confident in our ability to finish it and release a patch. And the team has reached the point where we are fully comfortable issuing you that guarantee. They have a whole release over on their website, which we will link to in the description down below as well, providing some additional details. But this is really exciting news because finally everybody's going to be able to play the PC version of this game in a way that will do the game justice. That is the one thing I will say about the Geofront team. I'll say plenty of things about them, but in particular, their dedication to quality is unsurpassed at this point. And if they're interested in pulling their full efforts behind this, I am extremely excited to see this game. Yeah, it's great. I'm excited to play it. I can't wait.
Man, there's so much. I just realized there's just so much to look forward to.
I know the future is bright. Just if you don't look, if you don't look at the NFTs, the future is great. It's great. I promise. It's just don't look over behind the curtain. Oh man, there's so much cool stuff going on though. By the way, like I said before, it is such a community focused stream tonight, and I love it. And it's what a time to be in the JRPG community, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah. So, hey, by the way, did you know that we're almost coming up to a year to the show?
Time does fly. And since you mentioned this is a very good time for me to mention something. Did you know that we're pretty much almost out of room for all of the old episodes of the podcast on our hosting platform?
What?
So what that means is that unless we pony up for a lot more storage space on the net, we're gonna need to start pruning old episodes from all of the various podcasting platforms that we currently host them on. Yeah, we're gonna probably so anybody listening in the audio forms, which you can find in the description if you go to superderekrpgs.com/hitpoint, you'll see we are everywhere, man. We are up there everywhere where you can read us, listen to us, read us. You can listen to us anywhere on your various podcasting platforms of choice. You can leave us ratings, and I always appreciate it when you do. But I will say, some of the first episodes are going to come down. Now, that's not to say anything about the episodes here on YouTube, because here storage is infinite. It is infinite. I can store, all kinds of useless. Speaking of useless, I have all of my VODs from Twitch backed up to a SuperDerek Streams channel. I'm talking like a few hundred videos of just me playing games for 4 hours or more at a time, sometimes up to like 12 hours more. Like, YouTube does not care. They're like, whatever. Yeah, we got terabytes for we got petabytes for you. It's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, on that front, that is to say, our podcast live streams are staying up on YouTube forever. But for anybody who really wants to get our older podcasts downloaded in a podcast form, I don't know why you would, because it's a news podcast. But hey, you know what? I don't blame you. If that's your thing, make sure you download them soon, because I can't guarantee they'll be there forever. But yeah, that's just the quick PSA. But yeah, we're coming up on 1 year. Isn't that absolutely nuts?
Yeah.
Time flies.
I think our first show was the 30th. So when we do ours on the 29th, that's basically a year.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow. It doesn't even, and it feels like because of our break, it feels like I haven't done this very long at all. Coming back, I'm like, I'm new here. What do any of these buttons
like it's
do?
been a year. No.
there have been some changes since our first episodes. God, could you imagine? Maybe should we do like a commentary of our first ever episode?
Oh, jeez.
I know. Just maybe I'll do a supercut. Maybe I'll do a supercut of it or something of just all the best and worst parts about it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah, this time flies. So, I don't know, man. What was your what was like your favorite thing that happened, or favorite piece of news? Anything that jumps at you in this past year?
Oh my God. I know we kind of talked about making like a list of our favorite things and least favorite things.
We were going to do that.
We definitely were, but we never did, because by the time we were going to do it at the end of the year, like right before New Year's, but then we ended up not doing that.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll blame it on me. That's fine.
No, I'm equally to blame. I needed some time off with families and friends, and then when in MagFest and
Okay.
uh,
So there, oh, God, I'm trying to remember. There was a specific trailer that I remember watching and getting so freaking excited for. We watched it like 3 times that night.
uh,
I'm having a hard time remembering
is
it
it
at the moment.
Altrium Shift?
Alterium Shift. Oh yeah, that might be it. Alterium Shift. That sounds so.
Alterium Shift.
Let me
Yes.
let me look this up. I want to watch the trailer again. Actually,
I'm pretty sure it was Alterium Shift. I remember you were like super excited for that one.
I think that might be my favorite. Here, I wanna pull up the trailer on here because we're just gonna watch it right now. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, I forgot about this one.
How could you forget about this?
I don't know. It's coming back to me though now. Look at that.
I know.
Yeah, and they are definitely using a very similar font. You know me and my fonts.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember this. This
Oh,
along with
man.
Chained Memories.
Oh man. God, that looks so nice.
Oh, fishing. I mean, is it a JRPG if you don't fish?
No. I mean, maybe. I don't know if WrestleQuest had any fishing, but
I'm gonna urge the developers to put fishing in.
I think that's only fair.
Yeah, it's just like, look, if you want to be a well-respected RPG, you have to have fishing.
Yeah, this is like early PS1, totally to a T. Like something like, oh,
Yeah, we still keep in touch with Drastic Game, which is the folks who are working on the
yes, Dratzy, that's the
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
Yes.
Drastic Games, super cool
Okay,
guys.
Okay, yeah, that's. I think that one. I mean, I was so excited by so many, but I think that was the one that got me the giddiest of all of them. So
Mhm.
that's got to be my favorite. I think, and it's hard because like they're all my favorite children, right? But
Yes.
this one, I mean,
This one is special.
it's I might give it the cookie with a few more extra chocolate chips. You know.
Mm. Yeah, I think for me, and again, just like you, they're all my children, right?
Mhm.
I hug them all before I go to bed. But the one that I had to play favorite, I think, for me was the announcement for the new Yakuza games coming out.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yes. Oh my
That
God.
has to be a no-brainer.
Yeah, for the Ishin, what is it called? The Ishin Kiwami that's coming, or the remake of Ishin that's coming. I didn't think that they were gonna do it. Some companies just like surprises me because they didn't spend the time to do a remake for 3, 4, or 5. So I was just kind of losing all hope that they would do any more remakes. And then boom, there it is. It's like a remake. And not only that, there's gonna be basically a Yakuza 7.5 and then Yakuza 8 following after that. It's like, whoa, okay. My mind is blown. Which by the way, Ishin is coming out February, so next
Ooh.
month.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
man,
I'm
so
very
soon.
busy. Yeah, we're back to that point again where it's like what Fire Emblem Engage is coming out on the 20th. Okay, Forspoken
man.
is coming on the 24th.
Mhm.
And then let's see another game that might be Tales of Symphonia Remasters the 17th. Ishin is the 21st. Octopath Traveler is coming
Oh
out
my God,
February
yeah.
24th. Yeah, so there you go. It's just like we're back in the grind again. Derek. We need you to stay focused.
Okay.
Play through that Cold Steel. So
I know.
there's so many games waiting for you.
Because Reverie is coming out in July. The new Azure is coming out in February, or March. So yes, we got
Azure
a lot.
is coming. Remember that
Yeah,
Loop
Azure
8
coming
game?
out. What was that?
Remember that Loop 8 game? Remember that
Yes.
one where like you have to
Yeah.
like there's just no standard leveling, but you like have to talk to people and make choices and
Yeah, Loop 8. That one's coming
that's coming in
from
March.
Yeah, who's doing that one again? Is that Xseed?
It's Exceed, yeah.
Yeah. Man.
It's so many things.
Oh, and they're also Xseed is also doing that other one. Remember that the game that we played the demo of?
Trinity
Trinity
Trigger?
Trigger. Yeah.
Yes, Trinity Trigger is also coming.
Yep. Oh my god, it is all so nice. I'm
Yeah, and
so
we didn't even
excited.
talk about Final Fantasy 16.
I know. We didn't talk
That's
about
June.
Final Fantasy 16, didn't talk about Soul Hackers 2, which was announced and released within the year. I
Oh
mean,
boy.
I know. And I still need to go back and play it again at some point. But you know what we also need to do? Before we wrap up this stream, we need to respond to some of these super chats that have been coming in. Starting
We
with
had
this,
Super Chat.
we had a couple.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So this one comes from Naticus, who says
Naticus?
no, Naticus, who says happily throwing in some money to the new and improved lower bar, even though Baku got expelled already by announcing it was the SuperDerek stream.
Wait a minute. I didn't say Super. Oh, when you announced that this is a Super Derek stream.
Yep.
Yes. I found out the same time you all do that I got expelled, apparently.
Well, there you go, Baku.
I didn't even make it through the year.
Oh well, you know,
This is another.
it's a new 2023 tradition. And we have another question
New
here.
Derek? Yeah.
We got a question here from Miguel, who says,
Okay.
are there any multiplayer games that you guys play? JRPGs are priority, obviously, LOL. But just curious if you guys play any personally. He loves Splatoon.
Oh boy, Splatoon is fun. I played like a couple of games with my friends. I couldn't get into it so much to like get the game, but it was definitely a fun experience to hang out and play games with friends. Yeah. Well, I don't know, Derek. What are some multiplayer games that you're playing?
Multiplayer games are kind of a rarity, to be totally honest. But I think that my guilty pleasure is popping in on other people's streams to play some Jackbox games whenever the
Oh.
opportunity arises.
That clip still exists. It is still floating. It still plays every now and then.
Good. It should. It should be
All right.
preserved for posterity. It's a wonderful clip of Baku and I playing some Jackbox games over on his Twitch channel. Check
Yeah.
out his VODs if you wanna see what I'm like when I'm not on my own channel.
Let's just say that at least for a second we share the same brain cell
Oh,
and
absolutely.
came out
the
with
one.
basically the exact same answer.
It was phenomenal. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've also, found that it's really good for playing, when during like lockdown and stuff, it was good for like hanging out with my parents and just like having something other to do than like kind of be like, well, still nothing new to do because we're all kind of trapped at home, well, I'll just stare at you for a little while until one of us thinks of something else to say. It's like, oh, hey, here's a distraction, Jackbox.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, yay.
It's fantastic
fun.
for that. And
Yeah.
and you don't have to like everybody doesn't have to necessarily have a device, they can have a
Mhm.
computer or a smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was my saving grace as far as like multiplayer games go. Otherwise, I'm like an in-person kind of gaming kind of thing if I want to do something multiplayer like Amy and I have been on this wild Yahtzee kick for the last like year and a half for whatever
Hmm.
reason. It's like a thing every night. We just kind of just play a few rounds of Yahtzee for no reason at all.
Wow.
It's
That sounds
fun.
fun.
It is fun. Just a few
Yeah.
rounds of Yahtzee every night. And then also we've got a few friends that we've been playing some D&D with when we're able, and we were actually just started to learn how to play another tabletop board game, and this one it's called God, what was it called? Okay, so it's Eldritch Horror. Yeah, the
Hmm.
Eldritch. It's called. I think it's called Eldritch Horror, and it's kind of like Pandemic. If you ever played that, and you're trying to stop an apocalypse coming about. Maybe it's Cthulhu. You're preventing the resurrection thereof by traveling around the world and collecting clues and stuff. So that's kind of more of my jam. Um,
Hmm.
it's pretty fun. So yeah, I guess it's probably not the kind of multiplayer a lot of people were hoping to hear about, but yeah, that's kind of what I do.
It's okay, Derek. I got you. I'll give them some multiplayers. I'll give
Okay,
them the multiplayers.
go for it.
So I've been playing a game called Earth Defense Force with a couple of my friends. It's almost like a silly B movie kind of game. It's a third person shooter. And so you just controlling this little army dude and you're shooting these like giant like invading alien insects and other like bug-eyed alien. It's great. And it's just it's almost like a Dynasty Warrior kind of deal where it's just like a horde of them will just run at you and you just destroy them. It just
Mhm.
feels good playing that with a group of friends. I think that's pretty much like the big multiplayer games that I've been doing with people. Other than that, I have played a game or two of what is that one game? The Power Wash Simulator, I
Oh,
think.
is that a
Yeah.
multiplayer?
I think just two players, up to two
Oh,
players. Yeah.
oh,
So
that's
I
cool.
have played that. That was fun. It's just relaxing. It's just like it's just cleaning.
Yeah,
It's just, some fun games I've been playing with friends. Those would be it.
that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, the various few multiplayer RPGs out there, Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana,
Secret of
kind of.
Mana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, I wish Trial of Mana would be multiplayerable. Like that was like the only thing. I know why
Oh,
they
the new
couldn't
one.
do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I know why they couldn't do it, but man, that's just the one thing that I really wanted from it.
Oh
To
yeah. And
make it
then
like a perfect game.
there's the obvious like party games that you can't not have encountered, like, Smash Bros or um, Mario
Mario Party,
Party,
Mario Karts.
Mario Kart. Yep, yep. The standard stuff, but I don't really consider those really anything that like I play. I'm just
Mhm.
like those are things that like I'll
Happens.
humor my friends when they're like, "Oh, hey, look at what
Yeah.
we got." But, I never like, "Oh, hey, let's play this." Um,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm
Like
I'm
you're
pretty
not
I'm pretty good at
engaging
I'm
people
I'm
to
pretty
to
good at NES
initiate.
though. I'm okay with that.
Hmm. I
I'm I'm
see.
I'm passable as NES. I can land the up B attack. I can land that sometimes and to devastating effect. But
I've ruined a couple of friendship over Mario parties. I'm not
hmm,
good at it. I just got really good luck.
yeah, I've ruined friendships over Mario Party as well. I don't play Mario Party, but I've done it. No, I was just
It's like,
kidding.
how did you win? You did so bad. It's like, I don't know.
Rubber
So it's like at,
banding.
at the end of the game, I just got like 5 stars and just like wins. And they're just like, how? It's like, good luck. That's what this game tests you. It's not skill based. It's just
Yeah,
you just gotta be lucky.
always has been.
Oh
All
boy.
right. Well,
Yeah.
guys, I think that does about do it for this evening. So if you enjoyed today's podcast, if you liked what you heard or watched, make sure you get followed or like the video or podcast or whatever it is that you're doing on the various platforms that are out there. Make sure to download all the episodes if you do. If otherwise they might be going away. So until next
Yeah.
time, everybody, hope you all had a great time, and we'll talk to you next Sunday when we resume
Return to our
we
regular time.
our regularly scheduled
Regular.
programming.
Yes.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, y'all.